are destroyed. He had to destroy three of them. Soora Padman, Karthik, and Simha. Each one is more powerful. Ultimately, the most powerful is but all of them are mighty, mighty warriors. Devas won't have any chance with them. But Karthikeya destroys them. It's a mighty war. It will take hours to explain each step, how they went step by step, destroying each one of them. And to do that, they had to go to the highest energy, which is Mother. And Karthikeya had that. He is Tejas. He's a Tejas from Shiva. And that the shining energy from Shiva manifested as Karthikeya. And he is the only one who could do that. And while he was destroying the final one, Soora Padman, he saw what a mighty, mighty warrior he was. How he's being humiliated step by step. So he said he will do something for him to maintain his recognition and respect. And he asked him, what would you like? Here you are humiliated, you are defeated. What would you like to have now? He said, I would want to be your vehicle. So when you go and destroy asuras, I want to be the one to carry you. See, that is the secret of our evolution. What we, Mother expects us to do is use the asuras to serve us. Any one of you think like that? We don't think like that. In this temple we do. When we do Varari Homa, when I do special mantras, I invoke them. That's why we take them with a lot of respect at the end of the Homa and let them go with respect. Because we understand they all came from Mother. So they are part of Mother. They are doing their function. What is their function? What is the function?
To help us to
Function is to take us
elevate
to her, deliver us to her, asuras. How does it make sense to you? Why would they want to do that? That is their destiny. They come for that purpose. So they tempt us, they corrupt us, they make us impure. That's the secret. Impurity. All these rituals we do, that is purification process. That is the reason we use Agni and Swaha Devi. They are purifying aspects of divine. And that is the secret. When you purify, the divine manifests. If you are not pure, divine cannot manifest. It will manifest, but it will not be to the fullest extent. So that's the reason why all these are purification ceremonies. To have a chance to be able to do it on this day, very auspicious day, third day, it's a huge boon. I don't think you can really comprehend that boon. It's a huge boon. Because human, we are totally different. It's like a million difference between us and the divine. It's a huge difference. And for her to give us all the secret and build this place the way it should be. Who would know that? I see many Siddhas in India. None of them really know the details of that. They read in Vedas or Shastras and they do it. But the real meaning is much more profound than what you see. And that she gives us, the prayoga. That's why it's called prayoga, not yoga, prayoga. She gives us the secret. Do this, do that. When you do them, I purify you. When I purify you, the devatas, all the Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, all the super sensual beings should come into us and wake up in us. Then we become divine. That's what Mother wants. Become one with her. Can you imagine the boon she wants us to have? Make us her. In this place she does. Yes, you are my family. I will purify you. Do whatever it takes. And then you come back to me. So we'll all be one family. Just like the beginning, they will be recreated. So it's a beautiful thing the way she explains. And it's much more profound than I make it simple, ordinary. It's not. It's much, much profound. A human and divine cannot be together. Purity and impurity cannot be together. Light and dark cannot be together. They're antithetical. But she does all the things she does. How much? Look at the magnificent Sannidhanam she's going to give us. You would never see those Sannidhanams any other place. But you have to be purified, you have to have all those energies. And we would not know that. It's not just the money. You have to have the information. Which vibration, where should it go, where should it stimulate you, where should it neutralize the asuric energy in us. Ultimately, that's what it is. That's inimical to Devic energy. And Karthikeya's function is to bring that back. That's why they had to go to him. And he had to be created. He did not exist before. So he had to be recreated. And he is the Tejas from Shiva. That means the most powerful aspect, most purifying aspect, Tejas. You know, Tejas, Ojas, you know that energy. And it's recreating that energy. And he comes from that sparks. So he is the Tejas of Shiva. That's why he could even teach secret or truth to Shiva. Not that Shiva didn't know that, but mythology says he had to teach him. That means he is the purest, mightiest, strongest aspect of Shiva. And on this function, we celebrate that. And when we celebrate, that aspects in you, in us, wakes up. And that gives us the strength to purify us. So remember the word, purification. That's all your aim is. Purify so they can come and not be uncomfortable in you. And they do feel uncomfortable in us. Because we are not pure. We are really impure. But out of kindness and because of our faith and our belief, they come. They come with, not with spontaneously. They come because Vedas, Upanishads, and all the Shastras have given us all the secrets. Even then it's difficult. They had to work hard. I'll give you one example, maybe that will explain to you the whole thing. One vrata had to do for 48 days, that's about 10 years ago. And that time I should not eat any meat or any non-vegetarian, which is okay. But somehow one of the person gave me egg rice or something. So I ate during that time. So that night when I do the prayogam, she comes and chides jokingly. She says, you made a wonderful food today. You gave me all the mantras I wanted. How you got it, I don't know, but you gave me most sumptuous dinner. But you put me in the bathroom, in your bathroom and fed me. So most wonderful food, most nourishing food. But the place you gave me is the bathroom. So next time, don't invite me. You don't have to invite me. I said, I have to invite you to activate this temple. I'm doing it for the temple. She said, if you do it properly. Don't show disrespect. Then I asked her, because that embryo has not even conceived it. It is an embryo, it's not a child. It's a fetus. But she said, I am Devata for compassion. Love, compassion, kindness. Throughout the eternity, that's what my job is. Anytime I'm hurt, that hurt will stay with me for eternity. So what happened today, that'll stay with me for eternity. And you innocently did it. But there are consequences. So next time, don't do it. If you have to do it properly. So I learned one lesson. This is all not mythology. They are real. That Devata is in charge of compassion, kindness, love, affection. She keeps the memory, that feeling of that forever. Forever means what? Forever. There's no time limit. Eternal. That is why this temple, she asked me first, not she, another deity, called this house as Eternal Mother Temple. Because it will always be there. It's eternal. And she is Eternal Mother. You're sitting there, listening to all these stories I'm relating to you. These may not be important to you, but they are very meaningful to me. Now I know there's one deity in charge of compassion and love and affection. And she'll always be there. Makes sense. Those cannot disappear. So the beginning was there, in the end it was there. And that deity will carry that. The discomfort and the pain. Can you imagine how easily we did it without even thinking? But I wouldn't have thought of it because it was vegetarian. I didn't think the fetus can have. She said no. Anything which had the potential to go through the whole process and manifest, it has a potential. How do you define life? That's a very complex definition. But that has a potential, and that was terminated. It didn't even probably fertilize, I don't know. But when I see that, I see how accurately they keep count of us. You do it innocently, things. You do much worse. This is nothing. You do much worse than that. But when you do it innocently, the Chitragupta is real. He exists. Trust me. He exists and he keeps account perfectly. And that will be given at the time you enter Yamaloka. When he goes to the trial, he will read the charges. He's a prosecutor. He'll read all the charges. And Yama will tell you, okay, this is what it is. How do you want to do that? How do you want to meet your responsibility if you want to go up? That means he has to keep ascending higher and higher and higher. Ultimately, you pay the karmic debt. You call it whatever you want. It's a karmic debt. See, in our tradition, there is no sin. You know that? There is no sin. There's nothing sin there. It's just your own action. How you grow up. How you grow up. That's all the secret is. And the growing up means purification. And the purification means you have to be without sin. But we don't call it a sin. We say it's a discomfort to the devatas. And you want devatas coming to you. We do. I hope we do. This temple, that's the end point. They will come into you. They will wake up in you. And some of you have had Kundalini experiences. The Kundalini experiences is their entry into you. They wake up in you. That is a Kundalini experience. And many of you, I know, have had that here. So when you have a gold mine, take the gold. Don't watch it and go away, not taking it. Take it. Because you have earned it. When the past 100,000 years, million years, I don't know how long it took, but you earned it. And you asked her, please take me. My journey has to end with you. So take me. And to that end, she does all the sacrifice. Can you imagine? The divine does sacrifice to us. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We do sacrifice for the divine, and the process we purify. But this temple, because of whatever you have done, all of you, nothing is given to you free. What all you have done, that has resulted in this environment where she herself would build it for us. And that's a huge, huge boon. And I can't explain to you. That Mr. Padman may explain to you better. Because the process is very, very difficult, very hard, very complex, very, is it painful? It's the way you perceive it. You perceive it as pain. Today, you have to think of Arunagiri. You all know about Arunagiri. Wonderful soul. You know who he was? You don't know that. You know who he was? He was Bhairava, the past life. This life he came for because he has to pay a certain debt, and he became Arunagiri. The wonderful soul. He wrote Tirupukar. How many years ago? 500 years ago? 500 years ago. Wonderful. You should listen to that. You'll cry. That much emotion in that. And the way he led the life was debauchery. Very sinful. And he couldn't, when he realized it, he jumped from the temple tower and committed suicide, whatever. He ended his life. But he was Bhairava, the past life. So these are all special. Akira, Arunagirinathar, they're all mighty souls. But they came back to do one unfinished job, and that is done by this. So Arunagirinathar, Tirupukar, I don't know that she would sing, but today she didn't sing. Maybe she will sing last day. They're all beautiful. They're very meaningful, beautiful. And this is a plan. She wants us back to the origin. Journey has to end with her. And it doesn't. Like Krishna Bhagavan says to Arjuna, you have lived 800,000 times, almost 1 million times. And I've seen you each time, but you don't remember any of it. So we have lived almost 1 billion years, but you won't remember. But it's okay, but when she remembers, and she has taken this project to help the world, not just us, to help us. Because she knows it's Kali Yuga, she knows in the next 100, 200 years, terrible things will happen. It will happen in our lifetime, maybe. If it doesn't, it will happen. Maybe 50 years from now, 100 years from now. But that is the way the script is written. Kali Yuga, you will see terrible things. First World War, 15 million people died. Second World War, 100 million. And many of them were killed by their own people, Russians, Chinese, their own people killed. And next one would be not millions. Catastrophic loss. That will happen. That's the reason why she says, get ready. I will help the humanity. But do prepare the ground for my protection. And the preparation means do all the ritual. Do you see how many homas we do? We do most homas, I think. Do we?
Yes.
Huh? Yes, we do most homas. The homas are the best way to reach our grace, and to reach the supersensuous being. I won't say her. I'll say supersensuous being. You can meditate, you can say the mantras, but homas are the best way because you're using Agni, number one. Number two, you're using Swaha Devi. Swaha Devi is a mediator. So you see every time I say Swaha and offer that to her. So Swaha Devi and Agni makes them most unique among all the methodology to reach super sensuous world. That's probably more scientific word. Super sensuous world. You have to go through that. So we do so many homas we do. Karthik does his own homa, his own path. Sundays he does. So each one of us have one deity, and that domain is given to him by her, I'm sure. Lord, I wouldn't know that. And then he comes close to her. Then he does every Sunday on your behalf. He does that. I don't know why only Assamese people come for that. Everybody should come. It's a very wonderful ritual he does. I think they don't know. I think you do that. You should publicize it. That's a wonderful one. So she's done everything needed for us out of kindness, love. And Karthikeya is the energy, Tejas. He is the energy of Shiva. The Tejas, whatever you want to call it. That energy manifested as Karthikeya. He's a mighty warrior. He had everything, every weapon needed to destroy. Those three, there are many asuras. Three are the most important. You know who they are. And those three are mighty warriors. That is why Karthikeya asked him, what do you want? You are humiliated now. Finally, I'm destroying Soora Padman. What can I do? Out of sympathy, he asks. Then he says, I realize now who you are. You are the origin. You are mother. So you let me serve you. So he became his vehicle. And that lesson is for us. We have to make those asuras our vehicle. How do you do them? Who are the asuras? Anger, ignorance, jealousy, hatred. So take them and modify them. If you develop hatred, you nullify it because you don't want that. So all these asuric emotions, you nullify them, neutralize them. You can do it with the kindness of Mother. You cannot do it because Mayavati is Maya, Other Maya. She does most of it, and she has helped her create the asuras. But the reason is they want us to grow up and purify. Remember those two words, grow up and purify. To that you need her help, because you won't even understand what is purification. Doesn't mean you won't take bath 100 times a day. No, it's not that purification. The purification of the soul. That's a mighty job. You have to know so much. You have to be so aware of every action. Like I said, that one act, I was chided so much. I didn't even know that. And it was not a fully developed fetus. But she said, no, that had the potential. But you terminated it. Without knowing. And we don't judge. We're not judgmental. That's one good thing about Hinduism. It's not judgmental. It lets you grow up on your own. It doesn't judge us. And that's the beauty of Hinduism. That's one beautiful aspect. Another beautiful aspect, in our tradition, she not only creates us, she becomes us. Remember that. That is different than any other faith. She not only creates, she creates, she becomes part of it. So all these unique features makes this very, very different, very special. And she has taken us as a family. Can you imagine how fortunate we are? I'm telling you all that because you have to know that. If you don't know that, it becomes very ordinary function. You have to know how much love, how much affection she has, and how much awareness she has. She knows it is going to be asuric age for the next 100 years, 120 years would be Kali Yuga. It will be terrible. Just started 5,000 years ago. We have to begin. Already we lost 15 million or 20 million Second World War, 100 million. Okay. So think of all that and think of Arunagirinathar, Nakira, Vogar Siddhar. Think of them because they are the intermediary. Vogar Siddhar, Vogar is the divine. He's the brother of Shishta. They are divine. But they came as human to help us so that humans can connect to them. There's another long story. We don't have the time. He's already told me I'm out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.